a result that hurt all in a red shirt, and a miserable message that a keeper sends as an unbeaten record ends. Leaving before the whistle goes? Oof, that's worse than my FPL woes. The good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC podcast for game week number 4, brought to you from the LFC file. Roll the intro, Alison. Welcome back, one and all, to the latest episode of the good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC podcast, brought to you by the LFC file and good old me, Ben Green, and old being the operative word, as I am a year older now, having turned over the international break. So, as always, thanks very much for coming along. Greatly appreciated, as always. Remember, if this content floats your boat, do remember to smash that like button, or you can just press it. That will work as well. Subscribe and press the notification bell so you know when the next one is available. And usually this is on a Monday evening, but you never know. Love and life could change the schedule somewhat. So do press the notification bell. And without further ado, let's crack on with the not good. And yes, after the international break, we start with a not good this week, and you have to be blind, deaf, dumb and everything else to not guess that this is going to be Liverpool's 1-0 defeat at Anfield to Nottingham Forest. And all due respect to Nottingham Forest, because they done a number on Liverpool, and we were actually unable to respond in a sufficient manner in order to get something out of the game. I've got Sky Sports here with the headline from Laura Hunter: Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Hudson-Odoi scores stunner as Arne Slot suffers first defeat as Reds boss. And then she goes on to say, report and free match highlights, not here, as Nottingham Forest staged a classic smash and grab at Anfield, earning their first victory away to Liverpool in 55 years. Substitute Callum Hudson-Odoi scored a second half winner, bending a perfect strike into the far corner. And that kind of sums it up, really. Yeah, not at the races at all. To be fair, I think in the first half, Liverpool had the best of the chances, well, and in the second half, and we had the lion's share of possession as well. Luis Diaz hit the post. What's his name? Is it Matz Sels? He's actually in my fantasy football league team, funnily enough. He made, I think, maybe 2 or 3 very good saves to deny Liverpool, which on another day and a bit more luck, maybe Liverpool would have gone into the break 1 or 2 goals to the good. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And yes, Callum Hudson-Odoi was able to finish from the edge of the box, actually, after some very poor defending, it has to be said, from Liverpool. But anyway, yes, Liverpool were unable to get back into the game. I was quite, what's the word? Maybe surprised, I guess, by the tactics that that Arne Slot employed when he took off Konate, who did have a bit of a mare actually anyway, and he put on Connor Bradley in his place, and also took off, I think he took off Diaz and also Jota, and then he also he threw on Gakpo, Curtis Jones as well from McAllister, and also Darwin Núñez up front, who was quite ineffective, really. Didn't have many chances, to be honest. But Liverpool, effectively, we played with a back 3. And whoever could go forward did go forward. I think Curtis Jones, unfortunately, you can see is a bit rusty, to be honest. I think most of the subs, they didn't really make much of an impact, unfortunately. What's his name? Nuno Espirito Santo got his tactics bang on. I wouldn't say these were ground-shattering tactics by any stretch of the imagination, but the game plan worked and worked very well indeed. I think Liverpool were unlucky as well, but I think we were masters of our own downfall there. That as it may, let's put that behind us and move on. Kind of move on because we got the bad, and again it comes from the weekend. That is Alison's interview after the defeat, and you can see his sour grapes, but you can understand his annoyance. So I've got a clip from the Mirror here. Tom Victor reports Liverpool goalkeeper Alison can't resist bitter swipe at Premier League after Premier League record ends. Arne Slot's Liverpool boasted a 100% record in the Premier League before Nottingham Forest came to Anfield, but were handed a shock defeat through Callum Hudson-Odoi's goal. Yes, that kind of sums it up. And the article, there's a lot of blurb, but then Alison goes on to say it was a shame. Losing points at home is not good at all, but the opponent today only wanted to defend and play for the long ball. The goalkeeper told Match of the Day, "We gave them that too easily when they scored. It was poor defensively from us." Then he goes on to say, "We couldn't create much. We had a lack of quality today. We needed more energy. It is 3 points we have lost today unnecessarily. All the opportunities we had were not clear enough and they defended great. They threw themselves in front of the ball," which is true. Although I think it's a bit harsh actually, because let's say, had who had a couple of chances, had Luis Diaz's goal crept in, let's say, instead of hitting the post, maybe it would be a not bad and not a bad. Sour grapes indeed, but his frustration only shows that the man cares. So that's not brilliant, unfortunately. But what can we do? Nottingham Forest are unbeaten for a reason, and I think they're a point behind Liverpool now. Yes, let's move on to the ugly. And again from Saturday, but something I noticed actually, and it's picked up here from the Echo, who are not my favourites, but on this, but they've picked up on something here that I noticed during the game. You can see the report from Ian Doyle here, where he says, "What Liverpool supporters did before full time sends clear message as honeymoon period ends." Ian Doyle with analysis from Anfield after Arne Slot suffers his first defeat as Liverpool head coach in a shock 1-0 Premier League reverse at home to Nottingham Forest. And it was something I noticed as well, actually, that a lot of supporters were leaving the ground early, when it was, I think, about 89 minutes. And I thought, hold on a minute, you're supposed to be supporting the team, guys. Where are you going? All right, maybe you got to get a bus or a train, or you want to leave before the traffic. But what's more important? I'm not going to the game these days. I don't live in the country anymore. But still, when I did, I never left the game before the whistle went. And the thing is as well, a lot of these fans, they wouldn't admit it, but a lot of these fans, if they'd have just left and walking down the road and then they heard a couple of cheers after in quick succession and Liverpool won 2-1, I don't think many would be saying, "Well, yeah, I left the game early because I thought we'd lost," because you'd show yourself up. Yeah, they'd probably say, "Yeah, I was there, cool, yeah, blah, blah," after seeing the goals on Match of the Day or something. I think this is sacrilege, absolute sacrilege. You're supposed to stay until the fat lady sings or the referee blows the whistle, whichever is the sooner. Yeah, and it's usually the latter, but you never know. Anyway, I just think it's terribly poor. And also, there's always this discussion where people say, yeah, well, I'm at the game, you know, I'm supporting the team and all this sort of stuff. Yes, well, if you go, stay until the end. Stay until the end. I'm sure there were supporters that probably would have liked to have got tickets but haven't, and then they've lost out to someone who's going to leave after 88 or 89 minutes. What's that all about? I'm sorry, but that is not good enough. You know, if you're a Liverpool fan, support the team or go and support the other lot down the East Lancs. You know, they're always leaving before the whistle goes. But Liverpool fans should not be doing that. Yeah. So you know, I'm sure some will disagree, but at the end of the day, stay there, support the team, support the boss, support the rest of the fans, support the club. Finish. Period. Rant over. But I think this is just very poor form. And last but definitely not least, if you're with me up until now, then chances are you're waiting to see how the world famous FC Akia Zalfish got on over the weekend in the Fantasy Premier League. Well, not great, unfortunately. However, it seems to have been a week of not great scores. As you can see here, I've finished up with 40 points. Below the average of 51, which, as many know, this is kind of my barometer. But one thing I've noticed actually is that there seems to be this automatic optimization, if you like, where, you know, Sels, I didn't start with him in goal. I put Fabianski in and I thought, well, he's not going to play anyway for Aston Villa, so this is fine. But let's assume, you know what they say about assuming, but let's assume that Liverpool beat Nottingham Forest, then I should get some good points from Salah, from Trent, from Diogo Jota. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But Sels has ended up in goal, so he's got me 9 points. Thank you very much. And other than that, Gabriel scored for Arsenal in their 1-0 win over Tottenham, so that was handy. Other than that, very unspectacular performance, I have to say, from my lot. Absolutely shocking stuff. But anyway, never mind. Could be definitely absolutely worse. And if we move on to the league situation, you can see the Düsseldorf Super League. I am what's that? From my humble maths, 32 points now off the Band of who are in first, and I'm 16 points away from Haven't Got a Clue. This is a good name, that actually. Haven't Got a Clue in third. Yes, I need to sharpen my pencil for next week. I've got a couple of things in mind. I'm not going to show my cards just yet, but watch this space. I'm hopeful there. I'm glad after the week that was. I'm almost on the lowest score. Who is that? They think it's all over there. Has got 29, which is very rare for this gentleman, I have to say, but it is what it is. Yes, not great, but I'm glad to still be in second place. And if we go on to the League of Kings, which for our own, let's say, anonymity and protection, is called 2014667. I'm in fifth place. You can see there's a little dash there next to the 5 because last week, or well, the week before, whenever it was last, I think I was actually at 8th, but I think after all the final reckoning and everything, I ended up in 5th. So I'm still there. I'm showing the top 10, as you can see, because this is what I intend to do. Hopefully I stay in it. I'm 10 points off Bo Bites FC, who is in 4th place, and only 2 points ahead of AMR Gamela. So this is something I'll have to make sure I'm at the races next week. It might be worth considering getting Haaland in as captain, but I have to see. I have to shuffle my pack a little bit and see what the fixtures are coming up. I'm going to check that now, actually. Let's see. Yeah, Man City have got Arsenal next week. Ooh, that's a tricky one, but then you never know with Haaland. Liverpool, we have Bournemouth at home. I'd say you'd expect us to win that. Expect being the operative word. Onwards and upwards. And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up there. Thanks very much for coming along. Before I finish, actually, just a quick note that the Goodreads page is available on the LFC File website. The Facebook page is still there, but I've been hacked out of it for the moment, so still waiting for Facebook to help me on that one. Good luck. There you go. And yeah, that's all of note worth mentioning. Anyway, that's all from me for this week. Thanks very much for stopping by. It's super appreciated. And look after yourselves, look after one another. Enjoy the sun, because I think it all goes tits up after that. And I will see you in the next one. So until then, guys, take care. Peace. New LFC File.